Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Devvon in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devvon raw tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devvon raw tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make sure that your song is ready for streaming. Or better yet, when I say that, I'm just letting you know, mastering-wise, how to know that you are comparable to commercial songs out there as well. Let's get right to it. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to play you a song. This is one of my own songs. It's called Cancel Culture. I'm going to play you the song so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. It's an R&B type hip-hop-ish, vibe-ish kind of record with some heavy bass, some high end. What I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to this little thing right here. As I'm playing this, I want you to pay attention to this plugin right here that I have of iZotope's Tonal Balance Control. Now, I won't say anything about it, but I just want you to pay attention to it and watch as this happens. Check this out.
You believe what they say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna fuck and I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just tryna get rid of competition? But fuck them niggas, fuck them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young nigga scoring on your court. I'm an all-star nigga, you a ball boy.
Okay, so you hear the song for what it is. It's an R&B, vibey type record. Now, for what you saw in iZotope's Tonal Balance Control tool, which I love, what this plugin just showed you was this. It said, compared to thousands of other records within your genre of music, you are in a place from your bass, from your low mid, from your high mid to your high, you're in a place that is comparable to these other commercial records that are out there. Now you're saying to yourself, how does it know that? Well, that's what this plugin is. It's basically a metering plugin that iZotope took thousands of songs from different genres and found within those frequency bands, low, mid, high, and found the levels that were kind of like average or kind of like the median of all of those songs across the board, and put it all into one plugin that lets you know where you stand in comparison to those commercial records. So this is extremely powerful in a sense that you get a chance to really see how you measure up to these things. So as you can see right here, say for instance, if I was lacking in the high mids, what could I obviously do? If I'm lacking a high mid, now I know I can go right to the high mid frequency range and I can boost those frequencies. Or if I see that I'm lacking in the low, I can tell, oh wow, I need to boost that low. So it's a really dope way to check yourself and see how you compare. Now, granted, do you have to stay within these boxes and stay within these regions? Of course not. But is it a chance for you to see where you measure up in comparison to other records? Absolutely. And that's why I think it is super powerful to have this type of plugin available to you at all times. Now, granted, it is not just for R&B, and that's what's powerful about it. You can literally hear your record in comparison to, or see levels in comparison to other stuff. So for instance, you have hip hop, you have modern, orchestral, pop, reggae. You can literally see what your song sounds like in comparison to the others. And that's super, super sick. So this is R&B. As you can see, the boxes continuously change as you keep clicking around. All right. So that's just one of 3 plugins that I use to just check to see if I'm ready for streaming. Next plugin that I check for, or use to check. Next plugin is this plugin called Insight 2 from iZotope as well, which I love. And basically what it does is it measures LUFS. Now, no, what is LUFS? Let's do something really, really boring. Let's read. How about that? So this is the definition of LUFS. Or better yet, this is the best way I can explain it to you so that I can give you an idea of why this even matters. Okay, the new standard for measuring audio loudness is LUFS. RMS tells you the average power of the signal, but LUFS integrated loudness is more accurate in terms of our perception of loudness. Now, I don't want you to get your head too wrapped around this as far as trying to figure this out from a technical standpoint. Just know that the new standard for measuring loudness is now LUFS. Before, and actually not too long ago, it was RMS. For me, I like my RMS to hit around -9, -8. But now when it comes to LUFS, this is the perceived loudness. This is what the streaming platforms are asking for, or this is what the streaming platforms are measuring loudness with. So this is the new standard that we're all following and all going with. This is what they told us, so we follow. So what is the lufs of your song? How much lufs should your song have? For me personally, I like to hit around the -10 lufs range. When I'm hitting around -10 lufs, I'm good, I'm cool. I know the song is super loud as far as compared to others, and I'm ready to send that bad boy in. Now, here's another tip, and here's something else you should know. Each streaming platform has a different target level for lufs, aka telling you, hey, make sure your song hits at this spot or hit around this place. For instance, Spotify is -14 lufs, and Apple Music is like -16 lufs, and each streaming platform has their own specification or target level. Even YouTube has their own target level. Now, I know what you're saying. Why are you shooting for -10 and they're telling you to shoot for -14? Well, it's okay. What they're going to do is they're going to turn your music down to the specified target level of what they want. So before I go any further, let me let you check out how this lufs works as far as the metering is concerned. Okay. So let's go to the very top of my song. And why am I starting from the very top of my song to find the lufs? Only reason is because realize lufs takes the average of the it takes the average of the song. It's not just a moment, but it takes the average of your song. So you need to play it from the beginning to the end. Now, granted, I know this hits at about -10, but look how these meters react. Check this out.
Believe what he say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna fucking, I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just tryna get rid of competition? But fuck them niggas, fuck them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young nigga scoring on your court. I'm an all-star nigga, you a ball boy.
Okay, so you can see right here, this integrated loudness is going up. You can notice it because obviously in the very beginning of the song, it's quieter. And as my song goes on, it gets louder, which is like most of our music. It kind of builds up. So what it's doing is it's averaging and it's taking an average of the entire song. And then it gives me exactly what it measures out to in lufs after the song is done. Now, I got my song around -10. I just know it'll take a little while to average out to that -10, but that's how I read my meter. So you're looking at this integrated loudness. Granted, you see this short-term one right here, which will tell you what you are in the moment, but what the DSPs and what they're looking for is really this integrated, this average. So like I said, I like to hit around that -10 range. You can go lower. That's okay. When it gets to around like -9 or -8, that's really, really loud, and I probably wouldn't recommend that. But nonetheless, like I told you, I like to hit around the -10 range. That's me personally. I've tested it on platforms like Spotify and stuff like that, and it sounded fine to me, and I liked it, and it was comparable to the other records as far as them turning it down, because they're turning all of those records down. And that's it. Let's go to the very last plugin. This plugin is the last plugin that I use to check. And this plugin right here is really a cheat code. And it's probably not known as much as people, as I would like people to know about it. It's called the Loudness Analyzer. And it's super sick in the sense of, it basically has all of the streaming platforms, or more of the popular streaming platforms within the interface. And it lets you know how much these streaming platforms are going to turn down your music. And on top of that, you can actually play to hear what it's going to sound like on Spotify, on Tidal, on Pandora, Amazon. This is a sick plugin. Check this out. I'm going to play it from a spot like right here. Watch this.
You believe what he say about your boy, don't you? That I just wanna fucking, I don't wanna know you. Yeah. Can't you tell they just tryna get rid of competition? But fuck them niggas, fuck them rumors. They can never win it, we just ignoring. They mad that a young nigga scoring on your court. I'm an all-star nigga, you a ball boy. I don't mean that sound facetious.
Okay, so let's take a look at what it's doing. So as you can see, it says Deezer is going to turn down my song by 5.2 dB. You see Tidal is going to turn it down by 4.2, iTunes 4, Spotify 4, Amazon 4. So basically it's letting me know how much my song is going to be turned down when it's on these streaming platforms to measure out to their target levels. Now, granted, I know what you're saying. You're afraid of the fact that they're turning down your song. Let me tell you something. I've downloaded commercial radio songs and I put them into this loudness meter, and those things are getting turned down. 5, 6 dB. These things are getting turned down. This is just a new standard that we're all working with, that we're figuring out as we go. Nonetheless, a lot of us are figuring out a place where it sounds the best. Now, like I said, it's not bad that it's turning your music down. All of those songs are being turned down, but it's really dope to know how much or what this thing is doing when it's turning down your stuff. Now, there's a lot of different standards when it comes to every single platform. Like I said, Spotify is -14 as of the recording of this video, with they're suggesting -2 dB true peak. There's a lot of different things that you can, long story short, you can go on their site and you can see their specs. They literally have their target levels for your music. But for me personally, I don't believe in just having a different master for every single platform. So that's why I found for me personally a place where I have a universal setting for my brain, and that's what I push out. So for me, I like to hit around that -10 LUFS range. Definitely can be lower. -11 is great as well. I like to make sure that at least I'm at that -1 dB when it comes to true peaks, meaning I'm turning it down to that 1. But for me personally, sometimes I'll do 0.5 just to be safe. And what I mean is this. When you go to your limiter, you basically choose the output ceiling, and you could put like a 0.3. And the only reason you want to kind of be a little lower than that 0 is because you don't want to, in conversion of your song, there might be some distortion that gets introduced off the strength of, think about it, when it's an MP3, when it's a wave going to an MP3, some of that dynamic range gets eaten up. And so what that does is it causes some spikes in the audio as far as it's louder now at that part, you know what I mean? As opposed to when you had that wave file. So long story short, what you do is you want to make sure that you back off on the output ceiling just a little bit so that you're not peaking when it converts over and when they do their process to convert your song. So for me, I like to go around the 0.5 range. You could do more. Some of them suggest like -1 dB, but for me, I do like 0.3 on my output ceilings, 0.4, 0.5. So this is how I do my output ceilings as far as making sure it doesn't go over. So I go right over to my fader right here, and before I bounce it, I just have this below right here, -0.5. Now I know when it's coming out of my digital DAW, the peaks are right there at -0.5. Now, granted, people, you could do this through your limiter. You could do this through a ton of different ways. It's a little cheat code that I just use so that I don't have to put another step of anything in the plugins or anything like that. I just literally go to my fader, and my fader is post fader. I know this, and I just turn it down about 0.5 dB just to protect me. So that was my tutorial on how to know when your song is ready for streaming. Granted, this is I don't want to say a newer space, but this is a space that is growing and rapidly changing. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email me at helpmedevvon@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us at helpmedevvon on the Instagram. And until next time, you guys.